I'm a commercial mariner in the port of Vancouver, and right now we're seeing real constraints mixed with record volumes. Let's break it down. Our first story comes from the port of Vancouver, which just dropped their 2025 data, and it's a record year. Almost everything is up, and international trade is up 11% year over year. What's interesting to me isn't just the growth, it's the showing of a shift underneath. When you look at throughput, it's not just more cargo moving, it's accelerated volumes in the areas where Canada is already strong, and that's tied to global demand. If we look at the 2023 to 2025 port report, vessel traffic shows that it's increased only about 5% in tonnage over year. So that's not a huge jump. But at the same time, domestic trade is actually down. But bulk is up 13%, which is covering the losses in outbound autos and domestic break bulk. So the mix is changing. And in terms of bulk products, wheat, barley, and coal are really carrying the sector right now, while canola seed dropped off pretty sharply after Chinese tariffs. But refined canola oil is doing something different. It's reaching new markets in Europe, Asia, and South America, and it's expanding in Asia between 2024 and 2025. If you compare 2024 to 2025, vegetable oil and animal oil exports have diversified and increased by about 33% over year. And the biggest growth sector is crude. Western Canadian Select sour crude is up about 59% in export volume, and that's likely driven by the Trans Mountain pipeline coming online this year, moving towards roughly 890,000 barrels per day, with plans to expand that further. So the Aframax tankers can only load to about 80% due to the draft constraints. And there's also constraints like tidal transit windows where the flow is less than 0.5 knots in either direction, water depth, and under keel clearance. Right now there's plans to dredge or blast the channel under Second Narrows to get it down to a control depth of about 13.5 meters, which would allow a fully loaded Aframax to transit. Now, if we look at containers, it's a bit of a different story. The total container outbound volume is up 13%, but a big part of that is empty boxes, and that is up 22%. This could be tied to the roughly 1 million TEU imbalance between inbound and outbound volumes over the past 3 years. So what I see in all of this is Canada might be taking a hit from the US administration on certain products, but globally there's still strong demand for stable. And then when you layer in what's happening globally right now, with the current Middle East fuel situation ongoing, the barrels of oil that were already at sea when this started are starting to run thin. And within weeks, these could be completely gone. And if that continues, that can turn into a food and fertilizer issue. Canada is exporting as fast as possible, pushing crude, fertilizer, and food at maximum capacity. Oh, Canada. I'll break down what this means for trade and investment in part 2.